Starts with a win over Iowa. We'll have highlights. How does $1 billion...
Welcome to Michigan Replay. The Big Ten opener is in the books. Michigan wins it 52-28 over Iowa. And here is a coach that was happier on Saturday at halftime than he was at the end of the game.
Well, I think you're right, Jim. Regardless of what happens, a victory is a victory, and over Iowa in the Big Ten Conference, you're still 1-0, and that's the important.
But you told me after the game Saturday, you said, how can a guy be so happy at halftime and then be so mad at the end of the game? It's one of those games that had happened to you.
It's frustrating because you don't know how to play defense, because you don't want to let them score fast, and yet they drive the ball down there. So we had some frustrating moments, but we're happy to win, and we know we got to continue to improve.
The one thing you said you did want was a fast start, and boy, did you get it.
Yeah, we got a fast start. You're right there.
You really wanted the fast start, though. You said, we got to start fast to the kids, didn't you?
Well, the philosophy there, Jim, Iowa had lost 3 games. So if you come back and you get on top, they start thinking losing.
And you go to the air early, but the running game really picked up. Much, probably to your delight.
Right. We start off hitting Derek, then we come back with Ricky on a draw play. Then Elvis does a great job here finding Tony McGee. It looks like he gets in there, but they call it 1 yard short. And then Bernie Leggett goes over for the score. So that was a good drive. And as you indicated, 3 straight touchdowns and 3 drives. That we'll take that anytime.
Okay, that puts you up 7-0. And then 3rd and 12 for Iowa, and they hit a big play on you.
Yeah, you lose too much field position here. And 3rd and 12, you got to play the pass a little bit better. And I was disappointed there. 2 things. We didn't cover like we should, but, Jim, you got to get more pressure in there. Maloney makes a great play here on a 4th and whatever, or 3rd and long, and stops them from getting a first down, gives us a chance to get the ball back. We wanted to get the running game going. Iowa was playing loose in their secondary. We couldn't get the long pass on them. But it shows there what you can do when the secondary's back.
Maloney's tackle stopped them. They had to force to try a field goal, which they missed. You get the ball back, move right back down the field, and the tight end comes open in the middle of that deep zone.
Right. That was a 2-deep coverage, and we got him down the middle on a little play-action pass, and then we get to give the ball to Wheatley. And he shows good speed here, Jim. This is what I always talk to you about, hitting the home run. When you got a guy that's fast and he gets loose and he can go the distance.
Puts you up 14-0. At that point, you're looking pretty good. And then the defense comes up with their big play, which you needed.
Matt Dyson has had an excellent day and makes a great interception there. For a kid 245, 50 pounds, that's a good interception and runs pretty well.
He got back about 17 yards in a drop zone. That's pretty good for a 245-pounder.
He's a good athlete. We expect a lot from Matt. And then here Ricky pounds over from the 2, and that puts us up 21-0.
21-0. You're still in the first quarter. What are you thinking?
Well, I think we're in pretty good shape, except when I start watching some other things. Here we get Dyson coming off the corner with a big sack there. And I think our defense, because of the nature of the game, had to play for long periods of time. And quite honestly, I was disappointed we got a little too tired today, Jim.
Did you think Elvis might have been a little rusty coming in after 2 games off?
Well, he should have waited a little bit longer and let Walter Smith move back out there, and we shouldn't throw. I don't like the idea of anybody touching the ball when we throw it.
Then you get a good punt return here from Derek Alexander, and again, special teams and the offense and the defense in the first half, you won all phases of the game.
Yes, I think you're right there. The thing that's not good, though, at our team right now, we have way too many penalties. We have 4 times in possession drives, we turn the ball back over to them on penalties. Here, Jesse on the counter play gets loose and takes the ball down to the 5-yard line, which we're on a roll, but then we get stopped. And this is a good field goal here, though. Pete comes in and knocks one through, and that's a big kick for him because it gives him some confidence.
And how about this? You talk about depth at your running back position. Here's Tyrone Wheatley going after it, and you wanted to run the football, and you were bound and determined on this drive to do it with 3 different guys.
Yes, we ate up a lot of time and a lot of clock here, and there was Tyrone, as you mentioned, and Jesse comes back. Jim, you got to also notice, and I think you can see this, there's some pretty big seams in there, and I think we did a good job blocking.
And that's Eddie Davis, of course, and you just pound the ball down in there and get in a position, and then Tyrone Wheatley's the guy that puts it away.
Real good cut there, then he splits the seam, and again, showing his speed.
31-0. Are you thinking, man, this isn't supposed to be this easy, but all of a sudden you're looking at the scoreboard and there it is?
Right, but the problem is they get 2 big plays here, and you don't want this to happen, obviously, and then it gets them back in field position where they can score.
They hit Danon Hughes, that gets them down to the 50. Then they come back down and hit the pass just before half on you, and that makes it a 31-6 game. Now, it's 31-6. You still got to feel good.
Oh, yeah, you feel good, but you feel it slipping a little bit. You know, you're not, and you don't know how to play. Excuse me, Jim. Another thing that happened, we had way too many injuries there, Jim. We lost some good kids that first half, and we didn't have a lot of depth, and we had to play different styles of defense than we would have liked.
A couple of things happened in that game we'll talk about as we go to the second half. But before we do that, we want you to hear from one of the big stars of the day who had a career day on the ground.
Coach Mo kind of expressed he wanted to get out of him early because he knew this was a opening of the Big Ten game and it was going to go down to the wire. And he wanted to get at him real early. So I guess I kind of like took it upon myself by me being in there. I wanted to set the tone, and I guess I kind of really set it.
Get your copy of The Best in Michigan
this week, and so basically I knew a lot of the things that they were going to be doing, so I felt a lot more comfortable.
Matt Dyson felt a lot more comfortable because he worked awful hard this week getting ready for this ball game, and you've got the big lead going out, get the ball at the beginning of the third quarter, and really don't do anything with it, and that had to be disappointing.
No, we had to wait till our second drive, but if we'd have got something going that first drive, which we wanted to do again to try to get that momentum back to our way, but the second time we got it, we did all right.
In the third quarter, it looked like Iowa took control and really got momentum back and got back into the ball game.
Right, and again, you're banged up a little bit, and you don't know exactly what to play with some of the new kids in there, but Shante Peoples here comes up with just truly a great interception.
And that was their first possession after a poor punt, good field position. This is your first play after the interception, and boy, is this a big one.
Right, this is a big play here, and Tyrone shows his strength right here, Jim, and he's a big kid, and obviously his speed really helps, and that was a run that's hard to duplicate and really makes a difference.
82 yards. Nice to run off tackle and get a touchdown, of 82 yards. Doesn't happen often.
No, and they come back here with a long pass and a great throw by Hartley Bear, and Jasper made the catch here down the middle, put us in tough position, and they come right back. We come on a blitz, and then they get a guy open in the corner of the end zone and makes it 38-14.
38-14, and Iowa at this point is going for two on a lot of occasions, and they really get back in the ball game here. It was their quarter.
Right, here we blitzed them. We didn't get the man coverage. This is what happens, Jim, when you blitz and you don't get home and a guy catches the ball. There's no one there because you're man-to-man coverage. Gives you a big problem here. But then they come right back. They hit Cross, their big tight end, who's an excellent receiving tight end, crossing for a big touchdown.
38-22 now the score. You get the ball, but this is a critical drive, and you did it almost all on the ground.
Right. We had a long drive here. We wanted to control the ball. Ricky makes a nice run here, and here he's on a bad ankle, Jim. He hurt his ankle on his touchdown run, and he makes a good run there, and then after this, we run him a couple more times, took him out. He didn't have all of his mobility.
And then you use play action to get the touchdown.
Right. Elvis does a good job here with the blitz in his face. Tony McGee keeps his feet, makes a great reception. We go in. And as you indicated, other than scoring the touchdown, which was important, we used up a lot of the clock.
45-22, you go into the fourth quarter, and Iowa starts to make a run. You got to give Iowa credit, boy. They never gave up on you. They were still coming even late in the fourth.
Right. You got to play a little conservative with your defense here. This is one of the few runs they had all day. But I thought we were good against the run. We just didn't cover some passes.
Pleased with the run defense. The pass defense, still a little bit of a problem. But again, you said kids got tired because rushing the passer like they did against big Iowa offensive front's tough to do.
Very tiring. Very tiring. And here they had motion, and our guy who blitzed, should have blitzed on the outside, went underneath, and then they got Hartley around the corner of the outside.
45-28 at this point. And then your big fullback, youngster Shea Foster, gets it done.
Shea Foster made a nice run here, obviously, and goes 50-some yards for a touchdown. Shows good speed for a big guy there. And, Jim, some of this, I said earlier, had to be that there was some good blocking going on, and I think that was important. It obviously is, and I think we may have dominated the front line a little bit.
Now, that leads to my next question. You made an adjustment. Doug Skeen, the normal starting left tackle, goes to left guard, and you bring Trezell Jenkins, who is normally Skeen's backup, and run him at starting left tackle. So there was a new offensive front. When did you make the decision? And obviously it looked like it worked.
Well, I think one of the things I got to thinking of, we're always seeing all these even defenses. People are covering your guards with linemen, so why not put a tackle in there at that position? And I think it helped out. It gave us a little more bulk in there, a little more size, and Doug's got good enough feet in order to play guard. So I'd closely study the film, but I think it worked for us yesterday.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about now the pass defense. You said that you're concerned about that. The running game seemed to come around, nearly 500 yards on the ground. What's it take to improve on a defense that really up to last week looked like it was a dominant type defense?
Yes, well, what I think you look at, and everybody gets all uptight because they hit these little short passes and get a first down. But you can see what happens when they get big chunks and man-to-man, too deep coverage, hitting the seams and stuff. Now they're going down the field way too fast. But the reason for that, and understand, Iowa has an excellent offensive line. They're as good in some respects as we are. I think we can run block a little better than them. I'm a little prejudiced, but I'm happy about that. But they do an excellent job protecting Hartley.
Did a good job, but it wasn't good enough as Michigan gets the win. Don't go away. Michigan Replay comes back with talking about $1 billion. You want to stay around and hear about that one. But first, we hear from a rookie who had his first touchdown in an amazing blue uniform.
The line blocks real well, you know. I'm just happy the coach gave me having the confidence in me, put me in the game, you know, and let me run the play. You know, the line blocked outstanding. It was a big hole. Anybody could have ran through it.
Number one, man. I don't even know if they were ranked. They came in and beat us. So we want, no matter how bad, we want to beat them bad. That's all I have to say.
First place vote, but the two teams are separated by